Yo guys, what's good? Welcome back to the Full Circle podcast. We are squadded up now, man. Serious?
Whole squad.
Four of us on here. Abby's here. Abby, you've never been on the podcast before, say hi.
Hello, nice to be here.
We're currently in Estonia for Beach Grind 2023.
It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be
the
good.
The lineup's nuts.
Yes. We're recording at a lovely place, the Hedon Spa and Hotel.
Isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful.
Really nice.
We're recording a little after movie and vlog as well, so check that. I'll give you guys a tour, everything that I can. But it's going to be a similar setup to the ADE podcast, so we'll have different artists on. Who are you most excited to see, Charles?
Alan.
Big.
Classic.
Abby?
Cliche.
Dimension, definitely Dimension.
I'm going to do Andromedik.
Nice. And I'm just gassed to see the cartoon boys, man. But yeah, it'll be a similar setup to the ADE podcast where there'll be quick snippets with different artists coming on, so I hope you guys enjoy. So, as we said, we'd have some guests popping in. First guest on the podcast, first of the day, Nublu.
What's going on?
How you doing, brother?
Joe.
Are you good? Excited for Beach
Can't
Grind?
complain. What about you?
Yeah, feeling good, man. Feeling good. You said you drove down earlier, right?
Yeah.
And you're literally staying. We realised this about 5 minutes ago. Like
Staying in the same place?
Yeah,
Neighbours.
Easy journey. Yeah, you excited to perform?
Yeah, definitely.
What did you say? 8:30? 8:15?
8:15.
Nice,
Yeah.
lovely. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, home festival, Estonia.
Yeah.
You're an Estonian artist. If we go all the way back to when you first started making music, to be able to perform a festival in your hometown that you've played at for like 5 years now, you said,
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be able to play Beach Grind?
I mean, 5 years ago, I would have never imagined. You understand? So, yeah, it's a blessing, honestly. Yeah, and I appreciate every moment.
And then when you're out there, like with the fans, and you see not just a crowd, but your home crowd reacting to you, that just must be incredible, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like hearing people singing your lyric back.
Always the best feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We mentioned you're Estonian yourself. When it comes to actually making your music, do you like draw inspiration from, I don't know, themes or sounds or things you hear in this country?
You mean local stuff?
Yeah.
Definitely.
What kind of things?
I feel like, I mean, our own music history. I mean, songs that go back to, I don't know, 60s, 70s. Doesn't even have to be musicians. It could be, poets, whatever, literature that we have.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. So definitely, our own national themes hold like a big place in the stuff I do. But then again, we're also citizens of the world. So, there's also lots of global influence. So yeah, and I'll throw those all together in the pot, let it cook, and then you got me.
And then this is what you get. I think that's a massive thing as well, is like you say, I've got a look at this is eating me. You obviously have these home influences, like you say, whether it's poetry, whether it's songs from the past in your own country, to be able to then share that with a global audience, it's just mad.
Even better.
Yeah, even better for sure. Awesome. And then when it comes to sort of like producing your own music or writing your raps, I mean, we heard you on Biology with Game Boy Tetris, which personally, I mean, we spoke about it on the podcast before. I love that tune, bro. It's so good, so cool.
Me too.
Really nice song.
It turned out really nice.
Yeah. The production from the Cartoon Boys and then the verses from you guys, just perfect. But yeah, speaking of actually your writing process, what's the kind of approach to a track? Like, when do lyrics just hit you? Do you?
I wish I knew.
I wish I knew.
Wish I could tell you, like a blueprint. Do this, and then you get the track. You never know, honestly. I could be driving somewhere and a line pops up in my head, and that's that's the start of whatever idea that is. Sometimes you're in the studio with I don't know, the Cartoon Boys, whatever. They play a track. Something pops up in your mind. So it's always different, but and I never try to exclude any option. So yeah, it depends. But and sometimes you feel like when you start from the beginning, you feel like you don't know anything.
Yeah.
When you start a new track, a new project, you always feel like, how did they do the last one? But eventually, you got to trust the process, and eventually it will take you there. At least it has taken me there so far.
I guess it's just like something you can't explain, right?
Exactly.
Like it's just like, it's like the feeling of happiness. It's like suddenly, okay, I know what I need to write.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
Awesome, man. Well, I mean, your set's bound to be incredible. We're going to be there watching it. We're going to be hopefully backstage getting some good views of you in the crowd. Are you playing Biology out? Can you give us a teaser of what's going to happen at the set? That would be good.
We're gonna have a couple surprises, for the Estonian crowds. Some, let's say, artists they don't really expect.
Yes.
From this event, that's what I like to do sometimes. Just the exchange of energies. We got 7,000 people mostly young people in front of the crowds, and then you bring on stage somebody that's the people wouldn't expect to be there, and to see their faces and the faces on the artists, so that's the stuff that I do. And other than that, we got a guitarist, we got a drummer.
Oh, nice, live band.
We got a saxophone guy on stage. Yeah, so it's gonna be plenty of people
Serious,
on stage.
man. You've convinced me. I'm there.
Oh, yeah?
I'm there. All right, well, appreciate you coming on, and best of luck in the set later.
Thank you, man.
Nice
Yeah,
one.
take care.
The WATEVA boys are here. Dan's back. He's jumping in and out.
I'm here.
Right, you guys are playing later. Let's get straight into it. We had questions prep, but I don't want to do it, man. I'm 2 beers in, and I just want to chat.
Just roll with it.
Exactly. Right, you've got live set later. How does it feel? Beach grind, Estonia. How are we feeling?
It's actually really exciting because I think I've never prepped that long before for a live set. I think it's been like 3 months. I started making edits and mashups and stuff in like April. So it's
No, I know. Yeah, we've been preparing a lot. It's
No, so he's been doing 3 months of prep and you haven't.
I haven't done the 3 months.
Not the full thing.
Like,
I'm also making the visuals,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
taking me a little bit more time. We wanted to like custom visuals for all the mashups.
I
edits,
usually do it like
edits,
this.
stuff like that.
Clip. Oh, fuck.
Jesus, so you do the visuals as well?
Yeah, it's pretty much like a 60-minute movie cinema experience.
Oh, wow, that's
God.
sick.
Yeah, you said earlier like what you've gone sound check and now straight here, and then what time do you guys set?
It's 11.
Oh, okay, so you've got a decent time for it. And then what's
we got time to catch up with you. You're 2 beers in, huh?
Yeah, we got stuff to talk about. All right, let's get in. Oh, I don't want to go. Let's get into the questions. We can't be doing that. No, in terms of when it comes to like playing live, right? What's really interesting to me is sort of figuring out, as someone that doesn't know what it's like to sit in front of a crowd or stand in front of a crowd and hear them play back. What is it like to just get the audience reaction and feedback?
Depends. Like, if you have, let's say you're playing a festival, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people, but you're like up on the stage really far away from the crowd itself, like in a huge stage, let's say Tomorrowland, whatever, then it feels cool. It feels really like overwhelming in some instances, but at the same time you feel a little bit distant from the crowd because they're just so far away, just like a mass that reacts to whatever you're doing. Hands up, goes up, it's like, okay, put them down, sorry. But when it's like, let's say a club gig or like I imagine like boiler room sets or when you're like in the middle of the crowd, that's when it feels like doing shrooms and swimming in a pool. Don't ask me why I know that. But it's like you blend in with the crowd, you become one. And that's actually an amazing feeling. And
That's the best feelings you could ever experience, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, and this it's like you never want it to stop. So when it's like an hour set, you're like, please let me play another hour.
Especially if you've been prepping for a set really long time, then it's like it all comes together in one night, and when it's over, you're gonna be like afterglowing for like a week.
What's the thinking about, like you're saying about set prep, right? You have to turn these songs that you guys have made in like studios and rooms all around the world, whatever, into a live format. What's the process there? You spoke about the visuals a little bit earlier. How do you approach making something that I guess is built for listenability and someone who's just driving around in a car by themselves or trying to get in their own head to suddenly have to translate that to 10,000 people?
I mean, with like more bass-heavy music, it doesn't really matter. It works in a set, but when you have a song that's more like radio-focused, then sometimes we do a VIP version, or we're gonna mash up our a cappella with another track that's like more bass-heavy, more energetic.
For me, it's easier. Just download the bass-boosted version of my track.
Works like a charm.
What sort of set is it that you guys play? Like, what kind of genres is it? Like, how does it kind of like start, end? Like, what's the typical?
It's like a cinematic experience with bass house and also some drum and bass. It's gonna vary a bit, and now we're trying to bring in some hard techno as well. So it's like our name. It's WATEVA. It's like an experience all around. So.
To be honest, like the tracks that I feel like that I am the most excited about in our sets are the ones that kind of defy the boundaries of genres.
Yeah.
Like we had this one track that had like, we played it last year. We're not gonna play it this year because we've overplayed it, but it had like reggaeton vocals kind of.
Which one?
Mitad di mitad.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Spanish reggaeton vocals, but it was
techno
actually
beat.
like a techno. So it was like at that moment it was like such a weird track, but I was like, let's play this out. This sounds amazing.
Because we listen to so much music that we're not easily impressed by songs, so we're trying to like bring some fresh perspective. Sometimes it works, but sometimes like the crowd might not react the way you want. But sometimes like the fresh perspective brings a lot more like freshness.
I guess it's like that. I mean, you touched on it then with like, even with your name itself, like being whatever, it's like that uniqueness of being like, okay, we're not necessarily, I mean, there's a core of what the sound is, but we're not really genre defined, and like we can put this into our set, we can take inspiration from here. Like, why do you think it's so important for you guys to not just have, I guess, one lane and be able to diversify in your music?
We've actually tried to like find our lane, stay on our lane.
Bring it together a little bit
Yeah,
more.
because we actually did understand at some point that if you, let's say, if you're DJ Snake, go ahead, do whatever you like. You're a huge name already. But if you're like a smaller musician, then doing bass house one day, drum and bass the other day, third day like deep house, it will be a little bit harder for your career to take off and to find your own space in electronic music, especially. That wasn't my car. Somebody stole it. And you can't find your spot. So it will be harder. So that's why we're coming, we have started to like kinda narrow the
So I guess
field.
it's
But
the
it's
flip,
difficult.
right? It's the
It's
flip,
difficult
so
to do,
as
because-
opposed to like going, as opposed to you guys going, okay, we're gonna try and make this genre. It's more of how can we bring all of those into like a lane and like take inspiration, I guess, right?
The funny thing is we've never, I don't think we've ever like, especially like concentrated our minds to like create a specific genre. Let's do this deep house track.
We listen to so many different genres per day, so it's like really difficult to do just one thing. Like
I think
at
that-
some point you have to do, I don't know, 5 different aliases, so you can
Just
like
feels good.
satisfy all your
Yeah.
different like
That's-
sides of you.
For sure, like I feel like over the years of just like chatting with you guys, I mean, Billy and I have just received like every time we've had a track from you guys in a message, which like, oh my god, we don't know what we're getting now. Like when Berserker,
I don't know if it's good or
The
bad.
surprise aspect, the shock value.
when we got Berserker, it was like, what the hell is this? Like it was just so different. And then like I really love the album that you guys did, something High Society, was it?
Disposable
Disposable
Society,
Society. That was-
Despicable sobriety.
That was like you almost like really matured in like sound in that one. Let me You really like.
That's the first time somebody snorted on the podcast.
I feel like that was a proper like mature sound. Like what kind of sound is it now that you're kind of going down, or is it hard to define it?
It's kind of we're trying to go back to the roots, back to the Berserker vibe, but still like make it fresh. It's not the same like bass house that it was like 4 or 5 years ago when Berserker came out. It's more like nuanced, more I don't know, intelligent maybe.
Yes, intelligence, especially the one like what was the pedestrian crossing was the name where I scream "La, la, la," like
Always
and
trying
it's
to
a
bring
techno.
something different, like new, unique sounds into it that you haven't heard before. That's the main goal, I guess.
Yeah,
You always want to
definitely.
like keep your listeners interested.
Always scare their listeners away.
Yeah, it's about keeping them on their toes. Well, yeah, we appreciate you boys hopping on. I mean, super excited to see what the set's like from here.
Oh,
on.
you
It's
never
gonna
saw
be
it. Yeah,
lit.
yeah.
It's gonna be
That
lit.
later. Josep.
Wait, he's just got here.
Popped up behind camera. Yeah, but yeah, best of luck in the set, and I'm sure it'll be amazing. It's
gonna be
appreciate
wicked.
you guys. Nice
Thanks
one.
for having us.
Nice one.
Lovely. The cartoon boys are here.
Got two straight from the
Serious. Right, let's get into this, man. We're still pre-lineup, pre-festival. I mean, it's kicking off now a bit, right? How long's it been going now?
For an hour.
Like an hour now. Okay, so hour and a half in. You guys obviously got a performance as well. It wouldn't be right to do a real life interview and not talk about it on and on. I'm going to have to do it. Real quick, to any of you, seeing what that track's done and just the community using it, the amount of influencers, the amount of videos, all that stuff, there's no way you could have dreamed that track would have gone where it's gone. Talk to me about just the journey of that track.
No, actually, I hope better.
Better. Man's got, oh my God. Oh, do you want to listen to it on Mars?
Hey, yeah, I'm just joking. Actually, like 10 years ago, I thought that I'm going to be homeless. But
Same.
but I'm not.
progression.
But I'm not. But I'm not.
That's progression, man.
Yeah.
You go.
At some point, I was homeless.
Yeah, same here. Same
You
here.
got a trifecta.
No, I think
I was homeless as well.
I don't know if we spoke about this before, no, because we spoke when we did the arcade interview, like ages ago, when arcade was literally just me sat on my laptop, and then you guys managed to jump on it. I think we spoke about like just how big the track's gone. I mean, it's crazy, not just from your guys' side, but just for us. To when we look at like the stats of seeing how many people have used it, it's absolutely mental. Yeah,
how
so-
much is it? Tell me, please.
Say again.
How much is it? Tell me.
How much? Oh,
$1
God, do we
million.
know? Do we know? 18 mil. Fuck, dude, that's global.
18 million people have you.
18 million
18 million
videos.
There are so many videos on YouTube.
Bro, yeah, swear.
That's sick.
250 mil.
And I
How many
still
videos
don't-
are there on YouTube at all?
Why you guys are looking? I'm not the back end of YouTube. I don't have these answers for you. I don't have them.
I don't know.
But 250 mil. That's
But the most
nuts.
viewed video on YouTube is Baby Shark, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. One of the job that I used to do before this, we had it was like YouTube channel management, and one of them was the most successful. We had like the Gordon Ramsay channel, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, all these big brands, and the biggest video of all of them was this thing called Baby Jake, which is really similar to Baby Shark, and it was a little a cartoon kid with an apple just dancing around. True story.
Wow.
Yeah, big times.
So what can we learn from here?
I think you should be licensing
Stop
any
the
tracks
EDM
you make
bullshit
to
and start
start
making,
kids content.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's get into just sort of like production in general. I mean, I know across the board, like you guys have different kind of elements you pick up on when it comes to making a track. Like Ego, obviously, right inside, and then you guys on production. And I mean, in terms of the live set, you guys pick up what you need to. How does it work? Being in a trio, I mean, I'm sure there's conflict of interest. There's things that you disagree and agree on.
You can put it that way. You can put
Talk
it
to me. What's it like? Let's imagine that we've got you guys are going right. We need to make a D&B track. What's the start? How does it work?
We never say we want.
Someone
to.
went
I
to.
guess it's just ideas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is, actually, it's communication. You have to talk stuff through. What you feel, what you think, what you need, what you want, and everybody has to do it with everyone. So it
And
needs.
then fist fight with your bare arms. Yeah.
Well, luckily we've avoided that, but never say
So
never.
far.
But never
So
say
far.
never.
Do you have like specific roles, or like I guess do you have strengths that you know to play into with each of you?
Definitely, but we do our like specialities kind of overlap over the time.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was more defined who did like the entire writing, who did the entire production or something. It was like it was more defined. But now there's so much overlap because we've learned a lot from each other, and well, it's been a long time.
I guess it's like, I mean, like you said earlier, you can never force an idea anyway. Like you can't just sit there and go, we need this, right? It's all from natural flow of what comes
Well,
out.
you can, but the probability of it working out.
Actually, like I don't believe in inspiration.
Really?
God. It's like you like just make bunch of shit, and if something pops,
Throw it at the wall.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
basically. Because like waiting for an inspiration. If I would be waiting for an inspiration, I would be drunk all day on a beach, like wanking off or whatever. You know? It's like, yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god, amazing. Okay, I guess like the massive thing to talk about because we're here in this beautiful venue at such an amazing place. I mean, my first time in Estonia, and it's a lovely place.
Don't be fooled by this.
What is this?
Yeah,
This not?
yeah,
Is this
that-
like clickbait?
yeah, this is not the real life.
It's clickbait area. But yeah, I guess.
No, it's nice here.
It is.
Yes,
it
it is.
actually
It
is.
is.
It is
It's-
actually very nice, yeah.
Do you know what it reminds me of nowadays? Like
Estonia.
Palanga, kind of.
Ah,
like
Pärnu.
yeah, the beachfront
Ah, yeah.
and everything. It's like,
Where is this?
In Lithuania.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like it's cool. Yes.
Yeah, it's a really nice space. We spoke about it just then, like on the interview before this, but playing Estonia, playing Beach Grind, seeing people react back to your songs that you made in a room that suddenly 10,000, however many thousands of people are screaming out, like, what does that feel like?
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. And the first studio that we had was actually Beach Grind's office.
No way.
Like like
Full circle.
it wasn't like
That's the name of the podcast.
It wasn't like real
Full
studio. It was just
Is it?
like
Are you serious?
Swear.
office table and speakers. I think
And then
that's-
it's that. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
yeah.
It was a proper
On
shithole.
and On is made there.
Why
Blues
Blues
is made
made me
there.
feel.
Made me feel. I remember you. Is,
Yeah, some of it. Some of it.
Finalized. It was finalized there.
Yeah, because a lot of it
Yeah.
was done at Ago's place.
Yeah.
Which was
yeah.
a
Yeah.
few hundred meters from that.
But the first idea started out in this shithole.
Yeah, from the piano loop.
Yeah.
I remember you.
Yeah.
No, I remember like waiting like for the like me and Josip were sitting in the studio. It was like 5 a.m. and the first tram that went to like which Josip could use to get home and I could use to get home started like going like 6 a.m. So even if we were super tired at like 4:30 a.m., we still pushed a little bit further to get onto the first tram to get back home. And the
Yeah, this
sessions.
was, I don't recommend that kind of sleep cycle to anybody.
Sometimes
Very
that's what you
unhealthy.
gotta do, man.
The older you get, the more it will.
I have a
Get
big
you.
folder in my computer of Josip sleeping during
Oh yeah.
the late hours of the
Yeah,
sessions.
I'm a professional sleeper.
Middle of the session.
We had when we had a drove down. Was it Tallinn? Yeah. We drove down from Tallinn earlier and came here. And I mean, I have like my energy. I don't know when it'll run out. At some point in my life, I'm gonna hit a wall and seriously crash. But at the moment, I'm like constantly up, constantly going. And I just looked around. I was in the back of the car, and Harry, who's just off camera now, was deep in like zombie mode, man. He was panicking. Some people can just do it, man. I can't sleep like that. I can't. I've got to keep moving. How did you? Just before we wrap it up, how did you guys actually meet? I'm just curious.
Me and Dago went to same school together here in Pärnu.
High school.
Here.
Me and
That's
Joseph, we
near.
dated the same girl at the same time.
Wow, that's serious, man. Oh my god. What a place.
It was both of our cousin.
Hugo, actually, the beach grind that we're playing tonight was, in the beginning was like a club event series.
Oh, nice.
In a nightclub, and Hugo was booked to the first party, and then I met him for the first time. Because my partner in crime with grind business, he told that he had seen him and that he really liked
No,
him.
we never met. He was supposed to play on my birthday with me.
Me?
'cause- No, Mikael.
Ah, Mikael, yeah.
Mikael, his partner in crime was. I had a birthday event like for my 20th birthday in a club, and it was my first DJ gig, and I wanted somebody who's a good DJ to like support me as being a DJ, because I can't like handle the whole night. And through other friends, Mikael was offered. Mikael said, "Yeah, basically a bottle of vodka." It was those times, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And he never showed up. He felt really sorry about it. He told me,
I
and then he
didn't- I
told me
didn't know that backstory.
how to like smoothen the situation out, like straighten it out. He was like, "Oh, but yeah, sorry, I got caught up in something," and I had to play the entire night, which was okay, terrifying, but okay. And he told me that they're gonna have like their own party at Club Hollywood called Grind, like a few months after that, and I can play there.
Okay.
Even though I've never met Mikael in real life, even though he just stood me up on my birthday, and it was my first DJ gig ever in my life.
That's pressure.
Yeah, the first grind party was like chaotic.
But it was super fun.
Yeah,
It was-
It
it
was
was
like in that nightclub, which is the oldest nightclub in Tallinn or in Estonia
Yeah.
ever. We broke all the records, and it was on Thursday evening, not Friday or Saturday.
It was imagine like a punk concert nowadays, but with drum and bass
That's
music.
fire.
yeah.
It was like,
That's so
everybody was talking about it, and then like yeah.
took off.
Good times when I was still a young boy.
Well, I mean, that's from those beginnings to now. That's serious progression, boys. So, I mean, congratulations to everything that's happened and everything that will continue to happen. I hope you have a lovely set tonight. I'm sure that everyone watching will be super happy to be able to hear your guys' stories, etc. And yeah, hope the show goes absolutely swimmingly.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Arigato gozaimasu.
The man next to me is a machine. This guy's just gone from literally performing a mad set straight off the stage over here and now on the podcast with me. Andromedik, appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man.
Of course, man. I mean, before we get into any questions, how was that? Amazing
Cool.
set.
Yeah, I think I had like the third or the fourth set of the day, and the energy was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I had sometimes at mosh pits going through the whole tent, which I didn't expect. And yeah, good stuff, man.
It's
I'm
cool to
happy
get a
about stuff.
venue like that, right? Like, I mean, I always think at festivals having the enclosed ones where there's the roof on it, it makes it super condensed.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into sort of talking about collabs, because that's a massive thing for you. Cartoon, Used, Shah, who's off camera, massive fan of Take Me. Serious banger. Why do you think like collaboration is such an important thing in your music? Obviously, I'm sure if you wanted to, you could just drop Andromedik singles back to back to back to back. But why is collaboration such a key part of you?
I think it's quite logical, but combining forces could always lead to something way cooler.
Yeah.
I think my collab with Used, for example, we've been chatting together since I started making drum and bass. I've known him for 8 years before we did our first tune together. And it just felt natural to release something together. As well with the Cartoon Boys, I was a big fan of their stuff since they started releasing in 2015, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like a full circle moment for me, like collabing with these artists that I've always looked up to. So yeah, I really love doing it, and I think you can always get a really cool result to see what another artist does with some sketch you made.
Yeah, I guess it's almost like if you're, I don't know, doing a painting and you get Da Vinci and then suddenly Van Gogh comes in. It's like you're both geniuses in your own right, but combining together makes something completely unique.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was a big analogy for me. That was. I don't know where I whipped
Props
Van
to
Gogh
you,
from.
bro.
I'm serious. We spoke about you just performing then. I don't know if this is a true thing, if artists have this, but have you got any like pre-show rituals or songs or anything you do before a show to get you hyped?
Usually, what I do is I'll have a gin tonic or something.
Beautiful, like this.
Yeah, exactly. It's my favorite drink. And I usually, before the show, I usually swap phones with my manager who's sitting over there. And that's basically it. I don't really have a really special pre-show routine, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like I know footballers have specific pair of football boots they wear and things like that. You imagine. Just want to loop back actually real quick to the collabs, because I don't know how much you can say, but we spoke about it off camera. Any upcoming collabs or things you can hint us towards?
So people who have been following my Instagram might have gotten a glimpse of this, but I've collabed in the works with a really big AAA headliner type artist, which I'm really, really excited about. It came together only I think 2 months ago or something, and I'm really hyped to drop it. I'm not sure when it's dropping yet, so that's why I can't really say who it is with.
But everyone should keep their eyes on your socials.
Definitely.
There you go. Yeah. It's always a pleasure. Honestly, this is the thing nowadays. Like, I feel like I do it on every podcast. So, like, every 15 minutes, I'll be saying something like, "Oh, just check our socials for updates," because then it's not on me as well. Someone can deal with it. Cool. Getting back to live shows, I spoke to you before we started about just going through your Instagram and looking at the schedule of tours. You're truly deep in touring season right now. Tomorrowland twice, bro.
Yeah.
And your manager sent me an email, and this is a mad fact, crazy fact. First D&B artist since Netski on main stage.
Yeah,
correct me
true.
if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I'm right.
That's
there we
it.
go. Since Netski in 2018.
Yeah.
Bro, first of all, congratulations. And
Thank you.
how does it feel to be playing shows like that?
Crazy. I'm not yet sure how it will feel to play that show. It's mad to think that already in 2 weeks' time from recording this podcast, I'll be on that stage.
Oh my god.
The tour has been so busy that I didn't really have time to think about it. But in the next 2 weeks, I'm going full preparation mode for that show.
Yeah,
It's a really big one. And it's a nice challenge. Like, how can I get a Tomorrowland main stage crowd to dance to drum and bass, a genre which they're probably not that familiar with, except for the Belgian people in the crowd or some people who are familiar with my music. I'm really stoked and can't wait to see if it works.
It's going to be sick. I mean, fingers crossed. I'm sure it will. I'm just imagining what we literally just saw and times in that by however many thousands of people. It's bound to go off. For sure. What's the kind of balance for you? Like, I mean, we're talking about you're midway through this tour essentially around Europe, around the world. Like, how do you find the balance between having to produce music and also prepping live shows? Like, surely it gets a lot in the brain and can be a lot to deal with. What's your coping mechanisms?
What I like about touring generally in Europe is I always fly back to my home. So during the week, I'm usually just at home, so I have time to produce and
Okay,
to
nice.
prep for shows. That's something I will probably do on a Thursday, and then fly out for the next show on a Friday. And that's during the most busy season, which is the festival season, and otherwise I have even more time to produce. So right up to now, I think I can find a good balance between shows and producing music.
Yeah, I guess it's just finding that time, right? Especially when you're in a scenario like this, when you've got those weekends.
Yeah, and playing shows is so inspiring as well to make more music, because there's nothing better than just grinding for hours in the studio and then getting a reaction from the crowds. That's like the best reward you can get.
We spoke about this with the cartoon and whatever boys earlier, actually, of like the fact that music can go, I mean, for yourself, like from literally an idea that you had in your brain, maybe sat in your bedroom, maybe like just came to you whilst you were cooking one night, to suddenly you're playing Tomorrowland twice and people are singing those lyrics back, know the melodies. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah, that's crazy if you put it like that.
Completely.
Yeah,
And then, you've got a load of touring happening, and for the first time, is it, correct me if I'm wrong, you're going like South America, Brazil, that whole area?
I am. I'm playing at Tomorrowland Brazil in October.
Oh, that's one of the Tomorrowland gigs. Sick, man.
Really keen to see what drum and bass will do in South America.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but I'm
I
stoked.
wonder what the scene's like there. Like, do you get, is there like a big listenership for you from there, or?
Actually, I'm not sure. It's
Yeah.
definitely not in my top 5, otherwise
Yeah.
I would have known. But yeah.
Man, maybe you'll show them something that they don't know they're missing. Well, we'll wrap it up on that one. Again, massive congratulations for the set. Super cool. Obviously, first time I've seen you play live, and yeah, beautiful. And then to be able to come straight here and do the pod with me, I really appreciate it.
No
brother.
worries.
I know it's a lot. Yeah, and everyone can check across your socials for all things Andromedik.
Sweet.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
All right, look who joins me. The Goodboys boys are here. Hello. I quite like that flow. How you guys doing?
Good man, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. We've just discussed off camera both our first times here at Beach Grind in Estonia. How you feeling to be playing later?
Very excited. I didn't realise that we were going to be actually on the beach. I didn't know Estonia was known for its beaches, but it's lovely here.
Well, I had this. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, British, like, I don't know, the persona of a British person being just self-centered and cocky. But like, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't really know what I'm thinking of like Estonia. I'm going to get here, right? At least I know I'm going to be inside doing some recording. Got here, the country's blown me away. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
really nice.
Insane weather as well.
I know,
so
yeah.
And
I
we're
might
good
come back
spa
for a
people.
holiday.
We
Yeah.
like to spa, and apparently that's what you're supposed to do here.
There's
That's
what?
like
Well, we're in one now.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, you can't see, but behind the camera is mud baths going on. So
yeah, just people in tubs.
Every,
Yeah.
every DJ is just seeing the spa now and going, oh yeah, it's been a long tour.
I love the idea of like after the final set, after
Yeah,
party.
yeah, yeah.
That's just what all DJs do.
Yeah.
It's just a
Straight
bunch
to the
of
mud bath.
People
baths.
think
Yeah.
we party, we don't party.
It's
it's on the
mud
rider.
baths.
Straight in the sauna.
On the rider, yeah. That's jokes. You guys, obviously, you've seen success charting. Like you've got so many live shows. I imagine it's a weird thing to go from, I mean, however long you guys have been mates, just making music, to suddenly in the space of however long it was, like putting in that graft, seeing the effort, to then suddenly be playing a festival like this and then touring all around the world. If you look back and could speak to younger selves about what your life is like now, what would you say to yourself?
That's a good question.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good job, man. It's great.
Yeah,
Um,
it's mad.
yeah, I think I wouldn't even know what to say because I don't even think I believe myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever believe it. And it's even weird coming to like a festival like this, like a big festival in a country you've never been to. You still get like really nervous. I know like you talk about maybe if there's like lots of touring under our belt or like accolades,
Yeah.
but you still like don't ever feel like you're not that like little teenager in your bedroom producer guy anymore. Do you know what I mean? That kind of never really feels, you never eventually just like qualify and go, I'm a DJ now, I feel normal. You still will get up on stage tonight and go, I feel like a bedroom producer.
What is going on?
Why am I here? I'm just like terrified.
And we do still make music in our bedrooms.
predominantly
so-
in the bedroom.
Yeah,
Separate
predominantly.
bedrooms.
We,
that's-
yeah, separate.
separate.
We had a studio for a while, and then I think we just found ourselves more comfortable working at home.
Well, we
That's a
never
fair
went.
thing.
We never even went
literally.
to it. Yeah.
Where are you guys based in the UK?
London.
In London.
We
Whereabouts?
actually live in the same flat.
Oh shit. Are
As
you,
of Wednesday.
are you East London?
No, we're like central, so like just near Hyde Park. But
Okay,
it's-
fire still, man.
yeah, so yeah.
I'm a big advocate for East. I was living like just below Shoreditch for like 4 years.
Oh yeah,
very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. It is a lot cooler.
Brickman
Everything's
specials.
better there as well. I don't know. I just got like we got a good flat, and we were like, let's just
Decent.
stay here.
Let's actually talk about London for a sec. Yeah, you guys based there, as you say. You've started out in the UK, played a load of shows there. Favourite London? We can go UK if that's too tough, but favourite London venues?
Well, the one for me is Ministry of Sound because before we were DJs. I was a student and I lived like about 4 minutes walk from Ministry of Sound. So you can imagine.
And we used to go like sleep till like 11:30, and then go and see a DJ. Just like couldn't afford any drinks. Would just get to the front and then just like go and watch a DJ like Freddie Legrand. I think we saw. It was like the last thing we ever saw.
That's
but we used to go all the time. Although Studio 338, I've actually never been.
338 is sick, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. We're playing it next Friday.
Yeah, I saw.
So
that'll be sick.
That'll be a strong contender.
It's got like an AstroTurf outside. It's a decent little spot.
I'll bring my what you call them, football boots.
Another DJ after party.
It's
like
mud baths
playing
and
football.
football. Unreal. These segues are working well. Charles is going to be mad at me because every time we do the podcast, if the segue works, I point out that it was a good segue. And Charles like, you shouldn't point out that you've done it. But we're talking about football. I was having like a deep dive on you guys' Instagram, just having a little scroll back. And you had a release recently, and I think it was with Tomorrowland. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the post that they did for it was like you guys in your England kits with your old DJ decks. I've got to speak about it as we got 3 bits on the podcast. Next year, Euros. How far are we going?
I reckon we're going to go all the way. Back the boys, make some noise.
Honestly, I'm like got so many trust issues. I feel like I've been hurt. I feel like we got so far and it was just absolutely heartbreaking. And there's a large part of my brain that doesn't want to do it to myself again. I'm just like, imagine if we got to the final again and then lost out at the last
Losing to the Italians, like I've never
walked
and we had a
in
show London and it'd be so quiet.
Bro, well, I was saying, I mean, I think the reason that they put me on a podcast in this job is because I can talk for literally ever. Like I stress out with silence. But I remember the pen went in and I was in a pub in Clapham and I couldn't think of a word. It was just there was nothing in me. It's a sad time. But
I got up
fingers
and
crossed.
left. I just left wherever I was and walked in. I couldn't even like. And we had to fly to Italy the next day for a show.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
Really
Can you imagine?
tense. And they were all like, ha ha ha. And we were like, nah, it's not funny yet. We need like 2 solid weeks where you just don't bring it up.
Yeah, you need that recovery time.
Yeah, awkward.
Well, I mean, I hope the set later goes absolutely smashing. I'm sure that when we're about 11 p.m, we'll walk through here and see you guys in the mud baths. Potentially re-watching that final penalty.
Yeah.
Thinking about the future.
Cheers.
Exactly. I appreciate you guys coming on. Nice one. Thanks, boys.
Thanks.
Siimi joins us. Welcome,
Hello.
bro. Thank you
Nice
so
to be here.
thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Appreciate it. You just spoke to the Goodboys off camera then, and then
They were good boys.
They were. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't ask them that question. To be
I know.
honest.
Yeah. I imagine they've had that too many times. As they are, you're also playing Beach Grind today. How does it feel? You said off camera that you've played it a few times before. What's the progression been, and how's it feeling this year?
Yes, this is my 3rd year. I would be lying if I'd say that I am not excited. This year I've been on the grind stage every year. It's like the B stage, you could say. This year it's the biggest it's ever been. Super excited. I've been working on the set for like the last month. It's gonna be intense if I play it all out correctly.
What sort of set is it? Like, kind of what sort of genres? Like, is it all one genre? Like,
You know,
what kind of vibe?
I tend to have like a formula that I start off in like bass house bass line, like in the 130 BPM area, and then on the half-hour mark I switch to the drum and bass side of it. It's I don't know, I really like it. It's like because you know, you start off, it's like huge, then it goes down a little bit, like the energy through, it just does. But when you do the drum and bass switch, it's like it takes myself back as well. Like, I'm back on top. Again.
Properly pulls you in, doesn't it? I feel like, man. I mean, maybe it's just the sound in general, but drum and bass is running this festival at the moment, man. It's popping.
Sure.
It's flying.
Like I would say in general in Estonia, drum and bass. If someone says like, I don't know how to say it. We say good música. It's like banger music, I guess.
Like a banger.
Like party music. Everyone by default thinks of like drum and bass.
Okay,
Drum and bass is definitely like the default of it.
Is drum and bass making like a comeback?
This is
like,
what
is
I'm
it like
saying.
on a rise?
There's we were playing some like unreleased tracks that we've got and we were driving down, and that's in that Pink Panther as like UK garage kind of vibe that's really popular. But when I think about that, oh my god, plants in my head. I feel as a spider. It's somewhat on me. When you think about like that kind of genre and the sped up trends, I mean, it slots in there. Drum and bass slots in perfect with that, with the I guess the cultural shift in sounds, in my opinion. What do I know?
Oh,
what
yeah.
do I know?
And it's funny how like here in Estonia, like we book so many UK artists all the time, like
Yeah.
especially from like the DJ area, like all the bassline artists and the drum and bass artists and all that.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I guess there's just that. It shows again like how universal music can be. It just
Oh yeah,
overlaps,
for
doesn't it?
sure.
You
Estonians really love like the whole UK
yeah.
music movement, I guess.
Yeah,
you
well, I
could
mean,
say.
we appreciate you taking in our music for sure. I think I want to talk a little bit about like how you approach sending tracks to labels. Obviously, for your release a while back, when I was back at NCS before I came back, you did the video when we had the arcade channel.
you were on a hiatus for a while,
I
right,
went
so-
away for a while. Yeah, I'm trying to drop that in as much as I can. Yeah, with that being said, you obviously made that content there. You've done releases with not just us, but loads of different labels. Do you have a specific approach or any bits of advice you could give to an artist of how to approach a label and stand out?
Gosh, it's a good question. Well, on advice, I would say be unique, and it is like super cliche advice, but like seriously, just don't start making the song thinking that okay, it's gonna be for this label. Of course, that might work as well, but like I would say just like do exactly what you want to do, and then just send it off and see what comes out. It's like if you really try like fitting a song into some kind of a box or whatever, then you know you're gonna start like limiting yourself.
I think that's really good advice. I feel like at the moment, I'm awful at it, but I keep going like, oh, like what genre do you make? Like what sort of box do you put yourself in?
Yeah.
But really, like, even the WATEVA guys said it, like they don't want to like put themselves in a box. They want to have a genre. Or you just gotta. It's almost like just express you as a personality.
Yes, totally. Like it's for me, it's with the music as well as the sets too. Like I play like a multi-genre set, and I also like produce a lot of like 130 BPM music. I really dig that as well.
Yeah, I think there's like you said, you can't really put yourself in a box of music if you're trying to be creative and whatever. But authenticity seems to sell as well. Like an audience nowadays and a listener can tell when things are fake and formulated. So when the people that are going to watch you today or watch whoever's playing, they genuinely care about the artist and want to see something that they know is true. It's from you. It's not like you're compromising to go, oh, this label wants this, I'm going to do that. But that doesn't mean you won't take advice. It's more like I'm going to make something that I love.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, it's amazing.
Have you got like a dream collab? Like, is there someone that you're like, ooh, like?
There's a ton, definitely. With you comes to mind Kajama.
Oh, Kajama.
Man.
Yes.
I love Kajama so much.
No way I thought you were going to whip out Kajama then. Wow, yeah,
Kajama
is
is
sick.
we had a pre-party for Beach Grind last year here at Sunset, and we booked him here as well. It was great, and I love his music.
He's dope, man. Yeah. What was the tune that I love by him? Was it the
one
Kajama
with
and
Tizoki
Suzuki
one?
Sure, what
You
was
did me? No, not you did me wrong.
Kajama and Tizoki?
Kajama Tizoki.
Alone?
Yeah, it wasn't
Feelings,
Alone.
Feelings.
Feelings,
Alone is cool as well.
Alone's
though,
good.
Yeah.
Alone is like an absolute
Festival.
hammer. Hammer. It's a literal hammer.
It literally is. Do you have like of anything in your set, or maybe your own song, maybe it's someone else's, a track that when you play that out, like think about when you're on stage later, when you see it queued up, you've synced it, everything's going, are you like, this one's gonna slap? What's your go-to banger?
You want a funny one?
Yeah.
LMFAO Party Rock Anthem. I've been like dropping that one in lately, like as a little, switch up.
Are we gonna hear that later?
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. Nice.
Yeah, you better come to the set.
We're there, man, for sure.
I'm telling you, if it all works out how I've planned it, then it's gonna be huge. Like,
Nice.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, and we're super excited to see it. And thank you for coming through and joining us for a sec.
Thank you
Appreciate
as
you.
well. Hope to
Thanks,
see you
man.
soon.
Yes, man. I spoke off camera about how, right, I'm in my flow state, this recording's going fine, everything's going good. Kaarel just gave us a great bit of insight into Beach Grind and how it functions, and the file won't play. So maybe you guys have seen it, maybe you haven't. If you're hearing this one, then it definitely didn't work. Kaarel joins us, who has helped us over the weekend basically function and get wherever we need to get through in Beach Grind, so appreciate you for doing that. But also, you work amongst the Estonian scene with a load of different artists. Can we just first touch on Beach Grind and how it's grown and what it is really?
Yeah, thank you guys very much for the invitation. I really
Thanks
appreciate
for doing it twice.
It's all good. I guess how I would describe Beach Grind, it is a multi-genre festival which is grown out of a little beach event. Wasn't planned at all. But it sort of happened. The first one happened here just on the beach. Then the summer ended. We tried to do a club event on a Thursday out of all days. And for some reason, the stars aligned. We offered the right type of music, which back then wasn't big. It was more let's say a pop dance floor drum and bass. And it just went off. And 12 years later,
look at it now.
Mad.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we were talking earlier about the kind of scene here in terms of music and genres. Siimi was saying drum and bass is quite a big one here. What's kind of when you're putting on a festival, what kind of music are you thinking that you want to have people come to, and what do people want?
Yeah, well, I mean, as Siimi said, drum and bass is the pinnacle, the backbone of Estonian youngsters or Estonian dance music in general. And it's sort of weird how it has happened that way, because you go 80 kilometers up from Tallinn, Finland, not really that much drum and bass. You go to South Latvia, not a big drum and bass country at all, and now us in the middle. So definitely we are focusing more on dance music right now. You can see from the headliners, Alan Walker, Alesso. But then we're also bringing in some live music. We have Little Big from Russia. We have a bunch of rap artists from Estonia. And yeah, I think it's since we have so few people living here, I think everyone sort of has to listen to everything a little bit, because you don't really have that many people to have strong communities of specific people. But drum and bass is one of those.
You've got the new stage that we obviously did speak about. First of all, the setup of it is crazy. I mean, you guys probably see it. We've got in our little after movie / vlog thing. I think I got a clip of it. If not, I'll get one today. It's a house with the stage. You mentioned that the actual backstage is the rooms of the house. What was the theory behind getting that new stage in and bringing that new sound, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. That building, first of all, it's called Amende Villa, is one of the most iconic hotels in Pärnu. And we've been eyeballing that specific area because we've done some concerts there. But now we were we need to get it in the festival area. And it happens to be very practical as well, because all of our backstages are there. There's proper, room service, catering, bars, so that it's extremely helpful and comfortable for us.
We were talking about earlier on the other version, but what is it that it's Grind is the company, right? Beach Grind is the festival.
The festival.
What is it that Grind does? Kind of because when we're in the office, we're often when we're talking about Estonian artists, we're kind of you'll know who we need to speak to. You're the guy that we're okay, he's gonna know who's hot right now or whatever. What is it that Grind does and you within this scene?
So basically we are, I would say 70% event production company, having 2 festivals as sort of our flagship products, events. But the other side is actually we have a booking agency and artist management as well. And in the 12 years that we've been doing this, it's been a very steady growth. Team has been growing. Right now there's 10 of us, at the office, and the core team actually has been together since the beginning. So we have a really strong family connection.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've been just like trial and error, and now we've sort of found this form that we are in right now.
Yeah. You mentioned about outside of just your core team, you speak to us about as soon as Beach Grind happened, there's however many hundreds more members of staff that happen. You've got the logistics of having to organise everything. When you think about expanding the festival and what the next few years look like for Grind and for Beach Grind, with that capacity growing, I mean, the numbers every year are doubling. How does it feel? Is it stress? Is it a panic? Are you excited? What do the next few years look like?
Yeah, so we are currently on about 15,000 people, which is, the goal is not to become really big. I think the area that we have this year, we're probably gonna stick to it for like the next 5 years.
Okay.
But then just try to make it as good as possible. And I think what has been the key is that we've been really, really conscious about our growth, like steady growth, every year do little mistakes rather than like growing a lot and then, maybe not being able to deliver the best quality. So I think that's really been the key, and I think we really want to diversify, bring rock music in, and capacity-wise, I think there's a few thousand more that we could put in, but I don't think it will be much bigger than that, to be honest.
Amazing. Well, as I said before, we really appreciate you not just coming on the pod, but also for helping us and people like me who can't quite record to get around the festival and make things happen.
I mean, like hosting us as well, like being available to even jump on the podcast. Like we really appreciate you kind of, being there for us. I know how busy you must be.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And you don't seem too stressed. And when we spoke last night, you didn't seem too stressed. So.
No,
I'm not. I've been chilling quite. So
that's a great mindset to have in a festival. But
it is. I mean, there's minor problems, but I think the team is so good, and the prior work was just the preparations were done really good, as it seems. I don't know how today's gonna go, but hopefully.
Fingers crossed. I'm sure it will. Sure, it will go brilliantly.
And well, maybe next year as well. We should talk about excess stage. Or
yes,
something like
you still need to get it in.
It's well worth
You
talking
say it
about.
on camera. Where do I
You
sign
say
it?
it.
But yeah,
Amazing.
Again, I want to thank you, NCS. I think it's been really cool to watch you guys grow, and just like it's been quite an amazing journey. And also thank you for your contribution to Estonian music, because Cartoon, for example, they are one of the most successful Estonian acts internationally because of an NCS release. So
that's lovely to say. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, we love Estonia, and it's amazing artists here. So yeah, we're really happy to be here.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Awesome. Say yes, it's recorded.
Yeah.